Good morning students. Today I discuss the topic vector form of Faraday law. According to Faraday law, the induced EMF in a circuit is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux linked with the circuit. This is E equal to minus d phi upon dt, where small e is defined as the induced EMF and phi is the magnetic flux. Consider a closed circuit enclosing a surface ds in a magnetic field B. Then the magnetic flux through the small area ds is B dot ds, and the flux through the whole circuit is phi equal to surface integral B dot ds. The change in magnetic flux, an electric field is induced around the circuit. The line integral of the electric field gives the induced EMF. The in the whole circuit is E equal to line integral of E dot dl, where dl is the current element of the circuit. Combining equation first, equation second and equation third, then line integral E dot dl equal to minus d upon dt surface integral of B dot ds. Equation fourth is defined as the integral form of Faraday law. By Stokes theorem, line integral is converted into surface integral, then A is a vector, then line integral of A dot dl equal to surface integral of curl A into ds. Similarly, in equation fourth, in LHS term, line integral is converted into surface integral by Stokes theorem, then line integral of E dot dl equal to surface integral of curl E into ds. For equation fourth and fifth, we get surface integral curl E into ds equal to minus surface integral of dB upon dt into ds. If the surface element is arbitrary, which means surface integral of both sides will be vanishes, then curl E equal to minus dB upon dt, and this equation represent the differential form of Faraday law, and it is also known as universal law of Faraday law. Another topic is EMF induced in a conducting rod moving through a magnetic field. Consider a thin film rod of length L moving with a constant velocity v in a direction perpendicular to its length. The length of the rod is along x-axis and it is moving parallel to y-axis. There exists a uniform magnetic field B along z-axis. The rod is conducting. It contains charge particles. These charges will also move with a rod with velocity v of the rod. Then the particle of a charge q will be experiences a force. Then this force is F equal to q dot v cross b. The direction of the force F is perpendicular to the both the direction. The velocity v and magnetic induction B. If charge q is positive, then the force F is in the positive x direction is shown in figure. If charge is negative, the movable carriers is most conductors and negative charge electrons. Then force F will be in a direction along negative x-axis. The force F pushes electrons towards one end of the rod. Then it develops a positive charge. This process of separation of positive and negative charges continues until an electric field E is developed inside the rod. when the force of which balances the magnetic force F, and the magnetic force F is Q dot V cross B, and this is known as Fleming left hand rule. Thus, for the case of steady state, Q dot E plus Q dot V cross B equal to 0, or Q dot E equal to minus Q V cross B. Then E will be minus V cross B. Therefore, the EMF is induced between the ends of the rod. Then total EMF induced is E equal to integration E dot dl, where the length of the rod is L, then the limit will be 0 to L. Putting the value of E equal to minus V cross B in this equation, then the EMF induced between the ends of the rod will be E equal to minus 0 to L V cross B into dl. According to the vector property, A cross B dot C or B cross C dot A or A cross B dot C is equal to ABC, and the value of the induced EMF between the ends of the rod is BVL. Next topic is induced electric field and vector potential. The magnetic flux is given by phi b equal to surface integral of B dot ds. For the definition of magnetic field, B equal to curl A or del cross A, where B is defined as the magnetic field and vector A is magnetic vector potential. Then phi b equal to surface integral of curl A into ds or surface integral of del cross A into ds or del cross A into n cap into ds. Using the Stokes theorem, the surface integral is converted into line integral. Then surface integral of del cross A into n cap ds equal to line integral of A dot dl, and this line integral is the boundary of ds. Or phi b equal to surface integral del cross A n cap into ds equal to line integral of A dot dl by using the Stokes theorem. Using Faraday law of electromagnetic induction and total induced EMF, E equal to line integral of E dot dl and is equal to minus d phi b upon dt. Put the value of phi b in equation first, then line integral of E dot dl equal to minus d upon dt B dot ds, and the value of B dot ds is minus d upon dt surface boundary of ds or line integral of A dot dl, and E dot dl line integral of E dot dl equal to minus line integral of del A over del t into dl. This equation is defined as the Faraday law of currents are variable. When any closed path, when line integral of E dot dl equal to 0, where E is defined as the electric field intensity as expressed as the negative gradient of a scalar. The vanishing of integral implies the existence of potential whose negative gradient is minus delta V. Then value of E plus del A over del t into dl equal to 0 or E plus del A over del t equal to minus delta V. The quantity minus gradient V appears to represent an electrostatic field when it is present. For the steady state, A is constant, which means the derivative of del A over del t will be 0 and E equal to minus delta V. In any static case, when delta V is disregarded, then E equal to minus del A over del t, and this equation expresses Faraday law of fixed circuit in terms of fields and the directly vector potential A